I'm not sure of the year, but I remember the humiliation. I believe it was between fourth and sixth grade, possibly math class. I competed in my class chess tournament and I made it to the finals. The championship game was in front of our entire class. My time in the spotlight ended in 4 moves. Before it barely began, it was over. Checkmate. While my classmates were spared boredom, I was publicly and utterly defeated. It went from bad to worse. A friend came up and said, "Don't feel so bad, Wallace. He beat everyone else like that too. He learned it from the Encyclopedia Britannica. It's called Fool's Mate." After years of enjoying playing chess, I suffered the agony of defeat at the hands of a kid who merely looked up chess in an encyclopedia, making a fool out of me. It didn't help to later learn the correct term is scholar's mate. I still felt foolish. Furthermore, I felt frustration that no one had warned me. Why didn't my friends inform me about how he'd beat them? Was anyone really my friend? Why hadn't I studied chess instead of just playing it? Why couldn't I have lost earlier? How would I live with my public and private humiliation? Maybe that's one reason I feel called to a profession where I'm in the 5%. In my version of scholar's mate, I study the Bible, commentaries, and the teachings of spiritual leaders more than many. I also spend a lot of time warning my friends. I'm now sensitive to listening for pride and humiliation from others as I share God's forgiveness, grace, and love. I guess I learned some life lessons from the consequences of playing childhood chess. Thankfully, the cost of those lessons was relatively low. God offers us choices and consequences in our lives. We are given the choice to learn lessons from our experience or to ignore them. We can choose to repent and turn away from sin and toward God, or we can remain on a path of destruction. I believe God allows us to learn from the consequences of our actions because we are not punished for our sin as much as we are punished by our sin. Some lessons are learned when the cost of our choice is low. Some lessons are delayed until the cost is greater. Sometimes we suffer the consequences of the choices of others. How have your past life lessons impacted your present? What are the consequences of your choices and actions teaching you today? How do you open your heart, mind, and body to what God is trying to teach you or warn you before your personal checkmate?